We are live now. Hey everyone, I hope everything is groovy at your end. This is Lakshit Pant, DevRel engineer at Reskill, and today we are going to talk about Introduction to Azure Developer Community with Amrit Kumar, Azure Developer Lead, Associate Developer at StretScent, MLAI Lead, and Kaggle Contributor. And today he'll be talking about how he has his journey till Azure Developer Lead and many more things about Azure Developer Community, how you can join, how you can be a part of Azure Developer Community, how you can upskill with Azure Developer Community, and many more things. So over to you, Amrit.
Hey everyone, good afternoon, Lakshit. So first of all, let me share my screen and Lakshit, let me know if my screen is visible. Okay.
Okay. Yep, it's
Yes,
very
it's visible. Cool. So yes, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Azure Developer Community, and this is my first event as a Azure Developer Lead. So welcome to you all as you are gonna join our community for the first time, or maybe you have joined already. So today our topic is Introduction to Azure Dev Community, and these are some agendas. So first agenda would be about the Azure Developer Community. Second would be about the Azure Cloud concepts, a basic intro, and third would be about the overview of Azure services. So before that, let me tell you about myself. So I'm currently working as associate developer at Stratascent Private Limited as cloud developer, and b- uh, I'm also currently pursuing my final years of engineering uh, in Pune University. So before this Azure developer journey, I have given some few sessions on machine learning as in other events. So it might say that I find it fascinating to join communities, open source communities, and contribute to the open source communities. I have built a fashion with that because it's like I find like-minded people just like me, and I try to go with them, and I try to build a community for ourselves, which help the people, for the people, as well as by the people. So let me just tell you about what are the benefits of Azure Developer Community. So first of all, what is Azure Developer Community? It's for learning, networking, and upskilling. I got in touch with Azure Developer Community by looking at its website, and I have applied for its Azure Developer Lead, and I actually got selected, and and this was pretty much exciting for me because I haven't been a lead, especially for the Azure Lead is a big thing. So what I have gone through till now, it's like Azure Developer Community. Here we talk with other leaders, we can talk with other leads from other regions also. This is a national community. This is not really just a cloud college community. So here anyone from all over India can join this community, or even from out of India also. So there's no such restriction over joining in the community. Here we learn, like we attend regular developer focused events to learn on latest technologies and best practices. So basically, what I have experienced till now, this community has more than 15K members, and we have been in a more than 100% cities, and there are more than 66 organizers, 54 speakers, and only one community. And this whole community is organized and maintained by us leads. Networking: you can grow your network to exchange knowledge, learn about the various technologies, get opportunities, and stay abreast of the latest Azure industry developments. Azure is a vast field where we all need help, because Azure provides for such a vast number of services that we regularly need help to overcome those challenges, and we can only do that by networking with other people who have more experience than us. Third is the upskilling. Of course, when you communicate with people of a higher background, of higher technology background, you're going to upskill yourself. If you see if you see that we can provide you resources to upskill yourself, we can provide you uh, quizzes, we can provide you various activities which can help you in upskilling yourself in Azure. So why join Azure Developer Community? For the past 1 month, we have conducted over 30 plus sessions. Currently, I actually attend some of the sessions also. Like recently, we had this DP 900 boot camp for last 3 days, and it was quite interesting because I wanted to do a exam certification on DP 900. So even I watch these live streams, even I get help, even I'm a Azure developer lead, still I need help. I try to watch these sessions, I try to connect with the people, because even I want to upskill myself, right? So we have conducted over 30 plus sessions, and every time when you go to our YouTube channel, you will see a vast number of new sessions every day. Second is win exciting swags and Azure exam vouchers. So recently we had this quiz contest on which we conduct every Friday, where you can win multiple swags and Azure exam vouchers. And these Azure exam vouchers are sometimes they are 100% off, and sometimes they are 75% but especially on the uh, offers or the quiz limits. Okay, so you can also win the exciting swag. So recently in the last month, we had this quiz where people have won multiple Azure swags, and they have quite fond of our community, and they in their and they have also recommended this Azure Dev community to their friends also, because you can increase networking, you can learn a lot, we can help you out there. We are especially here for you people, and even for and maybe you can also help us by telling us. Maybe you can also conduct sessions if you have the right amount of skills or the knowledge about a particular Azure service. Then you can also collaborate in conducting the sessions. So as a Azure lead developer lead, my job is not just to conduct sessions. My job is to collaborate with other people also, or other communities also, who can give us better knowledge, or better session, or take conduct better sessions on Azure services. So that's a big majority of work which this Azure developer community handles by its own, for you, for all of you. Third, for last one, you can also get job opportunities, quizzes, Azure resources, and much more. So there's some Azure job opportunities, job openings in our community also, where we'll post some job opportunities where you can apply for it. If you have the correct skills, then you can apply for it, or maybe you can get a job also. So we continuously conduct some sessions, boot camps, hackathons. In January month also, in January month we have conducted a hackathon on Azure services, where you need to use Azure services. Let it be anything. Let it be Kubernetes, let it be Azure VM, or let it be Azure ML services. Anything, but it should be related to Azure. So we have conducted so many so many hackathons, boot camps, and multiple sessions where people can interact with the speaker, just like today's event, and you can ask about your doubts. You can start your journey in Azure Developer Community, or in the or in the Azure Cloud Platform. So let's get to second agenda, Azure Cloud Concepts. So today I'm gonna tell you about a basic introduction about the Azure Cloud Concepts. What is really Azure, and what are the basics of cloud concepts. And afterwards, and after a few sessions, we'll take some boot camps on particular focused Azure services. So let's go. Let's jump to that. First of all, what are the cloud models, right? So the objective domain of our cloud models are, first of all, we are going to define what is cloud computing, what's public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and we'll compare and contrast the three different cloud models. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet, enabling faster innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. Why cloud computing has become such a trend in today's world? Because on-premises systems cannot really handle such large networks which we have, such large connectivity which we have today in this world. We can connect with any country. We can connect with any particular system from a different region also. So cloud computing can help you over there. And it has an on-premises, and in on-premises system, usually we need to handle everything. But in cloud computing, mostly the services provided by Azure are automatically handling all the compute resources and other services. So your task is just to inform what, how, and what you want to do with the Azure services and the resources. Let's talk about what is public cloud. So public cloud is owned by cloud services or hosting providers, so which provides resources and services to multiple organizations and users. And this can be accessed via secure network connection, typically over the internet, of course. So public cloud is something where like this Azure, it's a public cloud, but these services are provided by can be used by multiple companies. It's not just focused on single company or a network. So this is what public cloud is for. Yeah, any user can connect to it. There's no restriction, and any individual can help and explore this public cloud services. What is really a private cloud? So the organizations create a cloud environment in their data center. So let's take an example of a company. Like in when you are an employee of a company, they try to buy a private cloud for themselves, right? Because they don't want their connectivity or their network to be accessed, or to be visible by other users over the world. So they want their secure networks. So they want their private networks which can be accessed only by their employees, or their heads, or the admins of the company. So for that, we have this private cloud. So organization is responsible for operating the services they provide, and they are responsible for the costing and everything. So it does not provide access to users outside of the organization, right? In private cloud, a company or us, we usually focus on the security part and the authorization part. So that's why we have private cloud. Hybrid cloud, as the name suggests, that it combines both public and private clouds to allow applications to run in the most appropriate locations. So let's take an example that in some places we need few individuals to connect to our network. to connect to our organization's cloud, but they might not be from our company. Or we just want some testers or some uh, or some other people to just go through our cloud or access some stuffs, and not everything, and not entire organization resources, but some stuff to test their for maintenance or for testing. That's why we can have this hybrid cloud function also. So there's a huge demand for hybrid cloud as well as the private cloud in this computing tech sector. So what are the cloud model comparisons? First of all, we have definitely we have public cloud where there's no capital expenditures to scale up, right? And applications can be quickly provisioned and deprovisioned. Organizations pay only for what they use. Especially in this in Azure, we have this model of pay as you go, where your costing would be calculated upon the resources which you have used and how much you have used. You don't need to pay monthly wise or annually wise. You don't need to give money on in advance, but you only pay for what you have used, right? And that's what it known by its pay as you go model. In private cloud, hardware must be purchased for startup and maintenance, and organizations have complete control over resources and security. Organizations are responsible for hardware maintenance and updates. So private clouds does provide these functions that where a company can organize and have complete control over their resources, over their applications, and they do these are not gonna be provisioned or can be scaled up by other cloud providers. So if the company has its own cloud admins or cloud developers, they can do it by themselves using the private cloud services. And hybrid cloud is the provides the most flexibility. Organizations determine where to run their applications, where to debug them, where to showcase them or live stream them. They can handle them by themselves. And organizations control the security, compliance, or legal requirements, which which actually covers a vast majority of section, because when you try to when you go for an application, you need to handle the security and the legal requirements as well. Maybe so that your IPs or your computing resources won't get hacked or won't get stolen by other companies or by other applications. So organizations can control everything in hybrid cloud, and yeah, even with the flexibility feature. So what are the cloud benefits and why there's such a boom of cloud in this era? Because it provides high availability on-premise system. And by on-premise I mean the systems which you have on your on your area, right? So just think about at your home, you have your laptop or your CPU or your CPU, right? So that's your on-premise system. So for a company, if it has its on-premise system, they have its own servers, they have its own architectures. So that's on premise. But in cloud, these servers and these data warehouses, or these are all handled by the cloud providers. You don't need to handle these services. You don't need to handle those servers. And cloud providers made sure that there's a fault tolerance, and your data must not be lost in the way if any one computing resource or a VM, yeah, gets ruptured or gets broken. So cloud providers does this task for you. Scalability. In scalability, you can scale up or scale down as per the computing resources or the traffic your application is actually facing on. So you can scale up, scale down. If the traffic is quite high, you can scale down also, or scale out also. So these are some cloud benefits which you can't really do on on-premise systems, because in on-premise system, maybe there's a huge chance that you will reach to the limitation where you can't upscale the computing resources, and you will need to buy more resources day after tomorrow, or you'll need to buy more resources every time your traffic becomes so high. So let's imagine that in say in weekend mail us or the sale that we are we have, like the Amazon sales or the Black Friday sales, which we have over monthly, or the Flipkart sale, which we have monthly, on monthly basis. So in those durations, the application faces a lot of traffic. So in those period, your application might fail, right? If the resources are not scaled up. So at those particular times, cloud you can benefit a lot from the cloud architecture, because you can easily scale up. You can also set up automatic systems to scale up after a particular percentage of traffic. Elasticity elasticity you can expand, you can explore more every day, and there's no limitation for you at all in cloud. Global reach, you can reach anywhere, and by you can reach anywhere, you can interact with your users, with your say customers uh, in every region of in this global era. So from cloud you can benefit this global reach function easily. Customer latency capabilities, agility, and predictive cost considerations. So even Azure provides you a billing of what resources you are using, and it tells you how you can use other resources. It recommends you also how you can other resources where you can save more money, and it predicts for you how much it's gonna cost you. And these can be quite helpful when you deal with the tons of data. So that's why cloud is a new tech boom in this duration. Now the core Azure architectural components. So regions. So a question really most of us really ask, like, why should we go for Azure? Why should we not go for other cloud providers? Right. So in Azure offers more global regions than any other cloud provider, with 60 plus regions representing over 140 countries. And that's why we have the global reach, right? And that's how you can do the global reach using the Azure services. And regions are made up of one or more data centers in close proximity. Like in India itself, we have West India, Central India, uh, South India regions. And these regions are, if like currently, I am staying at Pune, so I would mostly prefer to connect with the Central India, right? Central India region. So even if I want to connect with the US region, I can do that. East US region, or any region from Norway, I can connect to that region also. So this can be provided by cloud services and Azure services especially. It provides the flexibility and scale to reduce the customer latency, because as you can say, there's no limitation on scaling up of your on-premise of your systems. So you can it can provide you flexibility to reduce the customer latency, and it will make the customer experience much faster than the old on-premise system experience. Preserve data residency with a comprehensive compliance offering. Now, what are availability zones and what are Azure regions, especially? So, a single Azure region have three availability zones, right? So, for to provide you tolerance from data failure, Azure actually stores your data in three availability zones, right? As you can see in this image, that in availability zone 1 your data will be saved in 2 and 3. So you will have a higher rate of data tolerance. Even if one availability zone ruptures, you'll have the other two. And the Azure and if Azure finds out that your one system or your one resource is not really working appropriately, or the health status is not correct, then it will connect you with the third availability zone to provide you with consistent and reduce and less latency, and help you in data tolerance. It provides protection against downtime due to data center failure, physical separate data centers within the same region, and each data center is equipped with independent power, cooling, and networking, and connected through private fiber optic networks. And all of these features are not really gonna be handled by the company or organization who's a customer of Azure services, but all of these things will be handled by Microsoft Azure itself. So all of these data center handling tasks, or all of this server cooling tasks, will you a company or organization does not need to focus over there. So that's how cloud can benefit a vast majority of the companies or the individuals like you or me in today's world. What are some Azure resources? So Azure resources are components like storage, where we store our data, like our everyday data, JSON files, CSV files, or our Word files, or other Parquet files. So in storage accounts, we store our data. VMs are the virtual machines. So virtual machines are like we can have Linux virtual machine, yeah, we can have Windows virtual machine, and you can have any virtual machine as per your requirements. And the networks, like virtual networks, like a company or an organization need to have its own virtual network, right? He doesn't want to connect with other networks, so they can have their own virtual networks. They can configure their requirements, they can explore the services which are provided. They can easily do it very comfortably. And if we look at simple systems or non-cloud systems, if you wanted to configure these virtual networks, it's not quite easily available, and it's not quite easy to do so. So in cloud systems, and especially in Azure resources, you can do it easily as well as rapidly. So app services, other app services like latency services, or other KMS services, these app services are provided by Azure. SQL databases to handle your tables, your schema structures, your CSV files, or other relational databases. So for that, we have this SQL databases also. And you can also have Azure functions, where you can let's suppose that you want to send your data, but you want to send some data at a particular period, or or at a particular trigger point, right? So you can create a function for that, where you can send your data to other resource or other network uh, when a particular trigger point has been clicked or has been enabled. So using Azure functions, you can do that. Right. So I guess this is all from my end for today. And this, I guess, this is a quite a huge overview. I guess I've tried to cover the basics, a very basics of cloud computing, as well as the Azure services. And before that, let me show you what are some Azure services which Microsoft really provides. So Azure provides you vast number of services. As we can see that in AI plus machine learning field itself, you have your anomaly detector, Azure bot service, Azure cognitive search, Azure video analyzer, Azure computer vision, and all these services are quite automatic. You won't need to do a lot of algorithm writing or any kind of works, or like data cleaning or handling. These can be handled by Azure itself. So you can have your Q&A maker, speech to text, speech translation, uh, and language understanding, translator, text to speech, health bot. You can build your own health bot for development of virtual healthcare assistance. Azure Applied AI Services. In analytics field, we have Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure Databricks, Azure Stream Analytics, Data Catalog, SD Insight, Azure Chaos Studio. In compute services, you can access cloud compute capacity and scale on demand, and only pay for the resources you use. As I've told you that it's for you can opt for a pay as you go model, and you only pay for the resources you use. You can have your Azure VMware solutions, Azure Spot VMs, Azure Quantum Experience. This is a really in a preview stage, because Azure is hasn't come up with the full model currently, but it's in the preview stage. And especially in Azure, you will see this preview feature where you can have a hands-on on these services, but you can't really use it, but you can have a hands-on. So Azure actually tries to get some insights. It's more like a beta feature. Okay, so Azure releases these preview features to know about the status or about the feedbacks, so how if these services are working quite finely or not. And after a particular period of time, it releases its full versions. Linux VMs, SQL Server on VMs, VM scale sets, Azure Virtual Desktop, static web apps, Azure Kubernetes services. You can have these Kubernetes or the uh, mm, I'm forgetting the name, but yes, Docker, right? So you can have the Docker services also on Azure. For the containers, Azure Kubernetes services, Azure container apps, and much more. Azure databases, developer tools, DevOps, Azure pipelines, hybrid plus multi-cloud features, identity features. Identity is quite often used in organizations where you need to provide the authorizations or the authentication. You need to check the authentication and check whether a particular individual have what kind of authorizations it can have. So using identity features, identity services, you can handle that. Integration with the API management, logic apps, Azure healthcare APIs, IoT. Azure also helps you in IoT things, IoT devices, Azure machine learning, IoT hub, logic apps, and even I'm not quite phone. I haven't used all of these services yet, and even I need to explore all of these services. uh, Traffic managers for your web apps or for your Android apps. You can have a traffic manager, and even you can have mixed reality Azure using the Azure Digital Twins. You can build your next generation IoT solutions that involve entire mixed reality or the AR feature environments in the real time. So Azure does provide you such rendering and high technology and decent kind of technologies in their Azure services. For the mobile also, Azure provides a lot of services and lots of services. So even I have used some Azure services to deploy my Azure, my Android app or the web app, and you can build and deploy cross-platform native apps for any mobile devices. And these are some load balancing, Azure firewall, network, virtual networks. As I have mentioned you earlier, you can have your virtual networks. And it provides you with DDoS protection also, and much more. These are some Azure storage. So Azure actually provides you with more than 200 services. It's a quite vast field where you will need assistance with other services. You'll need resources to make you understand what are these services, how you can perform on them, how you can have a hands on them. And that's where Azure Developer Community comes into picture. We can provide you, we can help you in these how to do this, and how you can explore these services. And it's quite easy also from the Azure point of view. Azure has helped a lot of has tried to provide a better user experience, and it's still ongoing to provide the best user experience than most of the cloud providers. So that's all about the Azure cloud services. So how you can have a free account. So when you click on the free account, you can start for free and pay as you go model. Its popular services will be free for 12 months, and 40 plus other services will be free always. And you can start with USD 200 Azure credit. You will have 30 days to use it in addition to the free services. Okay, so in addition to the 12 months, you're gonna have 200 Azure credits also. So these are some free services. Azure Cosmos DB, you can access this always. Okay, Azure VMs are for 12 months. For a hands-on, you can try these Azure services in your recent days to make you sure of the UX or or its portal, to make you understand how it's done and how they what are the services. You can have a clear hands-on and explore these services quite easily. So when I click on start free, just a minute. Yes, you need to agree to these subscription agreements and other requirements, and then it will ask for identity verification by card. You can have a Visa card or a MasterCard. Enter your details over here. Okay, I'm not gonna scroll down because it has my details, so I'm not gonna scroll over there. You can add your if you have a credit card, then it's good. The like Mostly what I have experienced, that credit card users can easily credit cards are easily acceptable by Azure. Then the debit cards, if you have a credit card with international payments enabled, or the auto pay enabled, then your Azure will easily accept your card details, and you can go through it, and but especially in debit card details, you might see some issues, because Azure really doesn't recommends you to use a debit card. So that's why you might face some issues. So I would suggest to go with the credit card, and you will be logged in. You will be signed up in a few minutes only. So this is the Azure portal. This is the basic Azure portal. You can have where you can see the you can have a hands-on of all of these Azure services, like in Azure virtual machines. uh, okay, you can have start with your Azure free trial also. For starting a free trial also, you'll need to enter your card details. So you can have these services: quick start, app services, storage accounts, which I have mentioned it earlier. You can have your analyze and optimize your cloud spend for free in Azure. And you can have this Azure Microsoft Learn, where this is a website for Microsoft Learn, where you can grow your skills on Azure services. Right, you can go for certifications. You can go for educator centers roles, and as per your roles also, you can filter these certifications and learning paths. You can go for Python for beginners also. It will get started. You can have your introduction, set up your environment. It has its exercise and other Python beginner developments. And you will and with each of the modules passed, you will earn some XPs. And actually, Azure also have its annual events, where you can learn. uh, just a minute. Okay, so I guess this is from my end. Yes. So actually, so what I was actually trying to say, that Azure, Microsoft conducts annual events, where you can earn certification vouchers by completing those by completing these tasks, a particular number of tasks or the browsers. I guess if you are familiar with this, then you need to complete these modules. Then you'll and if particular number of modules has been completed, then you'll earn some vouchers or swags also. So these are some very exciting, as well as very open source kind of things, which and where Azure helps us today. So thank you for joining us today. So this is the WhatsApp group QR code, which I want you to join, uh, where you can interact with me or with other community members also. This is this is the WhatsApp group for my own community. uh, so here you can interact with me, so that I can have accounts on for my community itself. And to connect with me, you can connect me on this LinkedIn ID, uh, linkedin.com/in/amritkmr72. You can connect with me over LinkedIn also. So in Azure, in WhatsApp group, or in Azure, in our Azure Developer Community, we have some rules: interact as much as you can, ask questions. So all of these sessions which we conduct, this is not really a one way session. It is being organized specially exclusively for you. So ask questions as much as you can. If you have any doubt, you can ask them right now. But before that, if you wanted to scan, then just scan this QR code in your mobile, and you can join the WhatsApp group. So I guess that's it from my end, Lakshit.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, I have shared the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. It is highlighted on your screen also. So, you can join this WhatsApp group by clicking on this link. And also, here is the link I'm highlighting. Let me share it again. This is the Discord channel server link of Azure Developer Community. We do a Friday every Friday we do a quiz there, and right now some boot camps are going on. So every day at 9 p.m. there is a quiz scheduled. So you can join and you can win approximate $20,000 worth of Azure portal credits. Okay, nice. Okay, cool, perfect, perfect. And thank you, Amrit, for having us, for having coming in our session. It was wonderful experience, amazing session given by you. And I hope, thank you, audience, for coming in. I hope you got some key insights about Azure Developer Community, what we do here, what are our visits, what are our goals. And I hope we'll be doing multiple sessions together. Let's meet in our next session. Thank you, Amrit. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Let's end the broadcast now. Thank you. Have a nice day,
Uh,
everyone.
yes, I guess if nobody has any questions, then we can end the session also.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, then let us know. We can just go through that now.
Subranil Shah has asked that do we have three fixed zones? Can you elaborate over that question, Subranil, a bit more?
I
Or
guess
are
she
you
might
asking
be.
about Azure region, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Does he have? Yes. So three fixed zones. It's not really a fixed zone. So Azure region actually contains three availability zones where your data will be stored. So even if you lose some data in one availability zone, you can have this data tolerance. You can recall that data from other regions also. So that's where Azure regions comes into picture. And it's even if one availability zone fails, then Azure will connect you with another availability zone. So it's not really a three fixed zone, but yes, uh, it's a dynamic kind of availability zone feature, where it will, if one fails, then it will connect you with another availability zone to help you in data tolerance, as well as to protect you from data losses.
yeah. Any more questions, guys? I guess there is no more questions from the audience side. So let's end this broadcast. Once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amrit, for joining us. And let's meet next day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.